One of the pleasant surprises of the season so far has been the Sacramento Kings. Coming into the season, many people still thought that they were in the early stages of rebuilding, but about 30 games in now, they're right around 500 and right in the middle of the Western Conference playoff race, and it is quite a competitive playoff race. There's a lot of factors to their success this season. Iman Shumpert, Nemanja Bjelica, and Yogi Ferrell have all been wonderful additions to their bench. Marvin Bagley has had some pretty good moments as a rookie, but in this video, I want to talk about their backcourts, De'Aaron Fox and Buddy Hield, because this is quickly becoming one of the better backcourts in the league. Before we continue, I have to thank SeatGeek for sponsoring this video. If you're thinking about going to see a game anytime soon, or you're thinking about buying a ticket for your friends and family as a gift, you should use SeatGeek, which is the best way to get tickets to not just sporting events, but also concerts and stand-up comedy shows, whatever you're interested in. SeatGeek is an app that you can download on your phone. It collects information from different ticket selling websites. It allows you to compare prices so you know you always get the best deal possible for the exact seat you're going to buy. My favorite feature of the SeatGeek app, which I talk about all the time, is that it allows you to preview the seats before you buy it. So you know exactly what your view and vantage point will be like before you actually have to buy the ticket itself. So if that sounds interesting to you, download SeatGeek right now. You can use my promo code MDJ for $20 off of your first purchase. We can start off by comparing some basic per game stats. Now, there's a significant improvement from both players. Although, to maintain objectivity, I do have to point out that the Kings are playing a much higher pace this season than they were last season. In fact, they've gone from being one of the slowest teams in the league to one of the fastest teams in the league. So if you adjust some of these numbers to a per 100 possession basis, the increases drop, although they're still significant. And with De'Aaron Fox, the improvement really shines in the efficiency department. Coming to the league, De'Aaron Fox was drawing many comparisons to John Wall, with the biggest reason being his speed. And there's absolutely no question as to Fox's speed. It's a God-given talent, and it makes Fox a very dangerous player in transition. But like John Wall, there were many questions about De'Aaron Fox's jump shot. His rookie year didn't do much to quiet those concerns, but this year his jump shot has looked so much better, whether it be catch and shoot or off the dribble. Fox will have to demonstrate that he can maintain this efficiency over the course of an entire season or over the courses of multiple seasons for that matter, but the development is already encouraging. Sacramento's change in pace has done wonders for Fox's game. I mentioned Fox's speed earlier too. That obviously plays well in a fast-paced offense. It's also Sacramento going with smaller lineups that has really helped Fox, because smaller lineups generally mean more shooting. And with good three-point shooters around, Fox has had more room to operate in the paint and in the mid-range area, and he's developed a nice floater game to counteract that. Now he's got some things to figure out offensively. Turnovers like these are bad. And to me, they demonstrate that he's still not quite sure of his pull-up jumper just yet. While I would never suggest that Fox is at the same level of a player as Wall already is, there is, I think, one thing that Fox does already better than Wall, and that's decelerating. Given how fast and athletic these two players are, it's very difficult to control that speed and know when to use it. That's something that took Wall at least 3 to 4 years to figure out in the NBA. But even till this day, many times Wall will go barreling into a wall of defenders trying to rely on his athleticism and ends up throwing up wild shots or getting blocked. Fox has demonstrated a level of patience that I don't expect an athletic second-year player to have. And I'm specifically talking about in the pick and roll. There's the classic hip check move that all ball handlers in today's NBA should know how to do, and there's also just a general willingness to slow down and survey the field before making a decision. Now, Fox has been compared to Wall since he was in college, and if you guys will remember, Buddy Hield was so dominant in college that Buddy Hield was being compared to Steph Curry. Now, I think we can all agree that Hield is not Curry. That's been rather obvious, and nor will he ever be. But in a somewhat coincidental way, there are some comparisons to Bradley Beal, John Wall's backcourt mate. Now, Beal is in his 7th year in the league already, and Hield is only in his 4th year in the league. But because Beal was one and done and Hield played 4 years in college, they're both 25 years old. Yeah, that's a little bit weird trying to wrap your head around, but Beal is at a different stage in his career. First and foremost, there's no question that Buddy Hield is one of the best three-point shooters in the league. Last season, he shot 43% on about 5 attempts per game. This season, he's again at about 43%, and he's bumped his attempts to about 7 per game. He's still mostly a spot-up shooter, which is why you can't really compare him to Steph. Although, on a side note, that's why you cannot compare anyone to Steph Curry, because there's nobody who shoots threes off the dribble like Wardell Curry. This is not to say that Buddy Hield can't shoot off the dribble. He's shown ability to take advantage of closeouts and hit from mid-range too. The comparison to Bradley Beal is in that both players are great shooters. They're best off the ball, but they're also very underrated as ball handlers. Like I said, Buddy is still a couple years behind Beal, but he's shown the ability to run pick and rolls and make the right passes. But of course, he shines best when he's off the ball. And the Kings are doing a really good job running plays to get him open, whether it's for three or whether it's from mid-range. Defensively, both players still have room for improvements. Buddy Hield will never be a lockdown defender, but he's not a liability either. Fox definitely has the tools to be great, and in some games, in some moments, he's proven to be great. It's a matter of consistency with him and continuing to put in effort on that end of the floor. Oh, hey, that's basically John Wall's problem defensively too. Nice. Moving off from the basketball court for a moment and talking about future, I should note that Buddy Hield isn't as important to Sacramento's future as Beal is to Washington's future. That is, if Washington even has a future still. I don't even want to talk about the Kelly Oubre trade. I mean, what the Sorry, getting off track here. Because of his age, Buddy Hield doesn't quite fit Sacramento's timeline perfectly. Fox is clearly their franchise guy. Him and Marvin Bagley are the two guys on that team with real superstar potential. They still have Buddy Hield on his rookie year contract for at least one more season after this season, but beyond that, it's a little bit difficult to tell exactly how he'll fit into Sacramento's long-term plan. There's part of me that would really like to see the Sacramento team sneak into the playoffs this year because they've been such a miserable existence for this past decade. But at the same time, I don't think they'd put up as good a fight as a more experienced team like Memphis or New Orleans or Utah even. But I am very excited to see what this team looks like next year. And again, if they don't make the playoffs this year, they'll probably have a pretty good chance next year. So far, what they're doing has been working out. And all of a sudden, in a draft where a lot of people weren't sure as to DeAaron Fox and where he was drafted, it seems like he just might be the best player in that draft. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching. 2018 is coming to a close, so I thought let's hope for a good 2019 basketball year. Which means let's hope the Warriors don't win the championship. Cheers.